Hey guys, so this week's topic is being transgender in high school, college, or the workplace. Sadly, I am in neither of those three right now. So I guess I will just talk about my experiences with the public, um, and my experiences in school and all of that stuff. In the past, with my schooling, being transgender wasn't really complicated necessarily, but it had its days. Um, I had a lot of resentment from some people who really didn't understand the transition process necessarily, or couldn't really grasp the concept of what it meant, or how much stuff I had to do, or the the whole thing in general. Um, a lot of the time right now, as it is personally in public, um, I portray myself as male, and I really don't get questioned a lot personally by people who just see me on a day-to-day basis. While I was transitioning in high school, though, it was a lot harder because I had to go through massive amounts of changes physically, emotionally, mentally. I had to have people call me a different name, and I think in my own personal channel, I ended up making a letter that I gave to all of my teachers, I think 11th grade year. And when I did that, it was amazing. It made a lot of difference. I just sat and typed up a letter on my computer one day and printed it out, and made 8 or 9 copies depending on how many teachers I had. And when I went to school that next day, I gave them a copy of the letter, and basically I just said, um, hey, I'm a transgender person. I would like to go by the name Aiden. I know that this may be a complicated switch, but I am willing to work with you. And I know that my name on the roll call is said birth name, and I wish that you would, comply with my wants and my needs as a student of this public school. And um, I basically told them that uh, it was important to me and that it meant a lot to me. And I had already talked to um, the principal or dean or whatever you call it at your school. Every school has a different name for it, but I had talked to the council, the school psychologist council or whatever, and then I had talked to the principal. So this was already taken care of in the highest form. And after I had taken care of that, I went straight to the teachers and then addressed it there as well. After I had written that letter, a lot of the teachers came up to me and said, "I'm proud of you, and I think highly of you for doing this, and that I support you all the way." And I did have the one teacher, that one teacher that you seem to just never be able to break through to. But I only had her class like once a day. Like, I didn't have to go back to her class again, so it really was never a big deal. It was a big deal to me personally, but I got over it within time, so it wasn't really a big issue because all the rest of my teachers complied, and that was enough for me. That one negative thing wasn't going to bring me down. So personally, with transitioning in high school, I had a lot of good, positive things happen with the transition process, but like, kids necessarily didn't understand it, so that was another full subject on its own. Was trying to have my classmates transition along with me. A lot of the time, people didn't know me. I was kind of a loner, so wasn't really like a super popular kid. Out of like 500 kids in my class and about 1,500 kids at my school, you know, that's kind of just a number. So, I mean, I did a lot of different things. I was in choir and like I tried out for plays and stuff like that. I never really got into theater necessarily because our theater program was always kind of the type where if you are an outcast in school, you'll be an outcast in theater kind of thing. And favorites were played a lot, so I never really was into that stuff because of that. But I mean, otherwise, transition-wise, my whole high school, college, like my whole high school experience was great. Now, college, on the other hand, I don't know. I'm going to be starting college this coming fall, and I don't know if I'm going to be starting college in my hometown, where I'm originally from and graduated in that town from high school, or over here, where I'm currently at this second, making this video. But either way, if I am in my hometown, it will make it a little bit more difficult because I will see the people that I graduated with, and, you know, they haven't seen me in some time. Like, a lot of the people haven't. They haven't heard my voice or heard my, you know, like, seeing the changes physically that I've been through since I last saw them when I graduated, because I wasn't on testosterone then. So, I'm 4 months on testosterone now, and it's made a lot of difference. So I'm sure they'll be, like, slightly confused by the time I go back to school. They'll be like, who are you? Did I graduate with you? I don't know who you are, kind of thing. I have had another issue come up where I will be in public in my hometown and somebody will say, you know, they'll shout across Walmart parking lot my birth name, and they'll just be like, blah blah blah, blah blah, blah blah, and they'll just like keep shouting it, and the people that I'm with sometimes are not aware of my birth name, so it's kind of like an unnecessary outing kind of thing. People out me for no reason. But a lot of the time these people are oblivious to my change and transition, so I guess in a way I give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, you know, you don't understand that I had transitioned, so it's kind of my fault for not telling you, so, you know, like, it's a regret thing. But as far as transitioning in the high school format and sense of it, everything was okay, because not necessarily was I on testosterone, but I had to physically, or I had to go through that real life transition, you know, that real life phase before you can get on testosterone. Anyways, you have to, at least, I guess if you're going through a gender therapist, you have to experience that real life experience, that stage or whatever, before you can get your T letter, or be approved for your T letter, I guess. I don't know. That's how I had to go through it. I don't know how everyone else does, because not everyone follows the Harry Benjamin standard care. You know, like, some therapists don't even follow a standard care. Some people are just like, whatever, here you go, here's a T letter. You know, they like just hand it out like a prescription. But anyways, so this is my video on high school, you know, like, being transgender in this type of setting. It was never really a complicated setting necessarily, as it was challenging in its own way. Not everyone understood things, so a lot of the time I had to explain to people how it went, and I got asked ridiculous questions, like, questions about genitalia should never be asked unless you are, you know, physically involved with that person. Otherwise, they just really shouldn't know. And I guess sometimes I give people more of the benefit of doubt because they are naive or do not understand. So I would say just be patient if you're new to this transitional phase, where you're going from the phase of not portraying female to portraying male. You know, like, people are going to be super freaking curious, and they will want to ask a bajillion questions, and sometimes you may not have all the answers, but just try to educate them the best that you can, because they don't understand. And they won't understand unless you educate them correctly. So don't give them false information either. Like, yeah, I'll grow a dick that's like 13 inches, you know? Like, just don't give them false information either. Like, know your facts too as well. It can make all the difference. And don't be shy. That's something that I had a lot of problem with, is because at first I was shy and I didn't want to talk about it, and then it became an issue. So just be open, and then people will be open and kind to you, you know. And when you get upset with them, they'll be upset with you, and vice versa. So this is my advice for transitioning, and also how I transitioned in high school. Obviously, I don't work right now currently, and I'm not in college because it's summer. So, and I haven't started college because I took the year off to save money, which has helped me in the long run because I was so burnt out after I got out of high school. That going straight into college would have been a bad idea. So yeah, I just took the year off for my own personal reason and my own mental sake. But anyways, I'm going to college this fall, so more exciting adventures with that. But yeah, this is my video. So look for me next week on Thursday. Alright, peace guys.